Hey you guys, it's Lisa. Yay! Sorry for the delay. Hold on, let me hook you up in here. Okay, perfect. Sorry for the delay. I was having like some kind of crazy technical mess vortex. But here I am. I'm so excited today because we're gonna make churro cake in just a second. So that should be pretty awesome. Couple of housekeeping things. I don't own this music. We're playing a sing-along playlist today. So if you hear a song that you better sing along. And I might sing along too. So there's that. Other housekeeping things. If you're making this with me, go ahead and set your oven to 350. Mine just went off. You probably heard it earlier in the broadcast. It just got ready to go, so we're all in good shape there. So yeah, I'm Lisa, as I mentioned earlier, in case you missed it. If you're just joining for the first time or just joining period, let me know that you're here. I can't always see who's watching, so say hello in the comments. If you're watching the replay, you can certainly say hello in the comments as well. And you know what? Let's have some fun this week. Let me know where you're watching from. That's always kind of an exciting thing as well. So every week, just so that you have a little background, every week I bake. And so I decided why not just do bake broadcasts. So here we are, right? So my baking, I call it Camp Kailua Bakeshop because my house is called Camp Kailua. So Camp Kailua Bakeshop, there you have it, right? So today I'm excited because we're gonna make churro cakes. So let me walk you through the ingredients that you'll need. You're going to need a block of cream cheese. I've had mine sitting out for a little bit so it's soft. If you haven't, you can certainly use your microwave and just pop it in. Take it out of the foil first, holy smokes. Pop it in for like 20 seconds, see how it is, and then maybe 20 more seconds. You don't wanna do it too much. Just soft so we can really mash it up. You're also gonna need a 1/3 cup of sugar, some vanilla. Don't you love when recipes don't really tell you how much to use? So we're gonna just use some vanilla. You're gonna need 2 packages of crescent rolls, a 1/2 stick of butter melted. What else? Oh, another 1/3 cup of sugar, and then some cinnamon. So I want to give you this tip too, because in just a minute I'm going to give you a second to organize your ingredients. If you have not yet melted your butter, I just chopped a stick in half and I pop it in the microwave. I let Chef Mike do his thing for like 10 seconds at a time. I do like 10 seconds, check it, 10 seconds, check it. Because what you don't want is that moment where it's too much and butter sprays everywhere all over the inside of your microwave. It's gross. So don't do that. Just really check it periodically, like 10-second increments. So while you gather your ingredients, get your oven preheated. If you've joined me before, you know that Fridays in the Camp Kailua Bake Shop, it's Fireball Friday. So I'm going to, while you are gathering your ingredients, I'm going to gather Fireball for myself. And if you have Fireball, feel free to take part. Cabana Boy! Oh, here he comes. Thank you. So today's shot glass is from the Austin Beer Fest. That was a good time. I don't know, the year's not on here, so I don't know. All right, anyway, gather your ingredients, gather your Fireball. Meet me back here in a few. Oh yeah, nice and cold today. It's good for a hot summer day, right? Pop that bad boy back in the freezer. Alrighty guys, so cheers to you. Cheers, Fireball Friday. That always makes me do a little giggle. Okay, so yes, Lori, to recap, you're gonna use we're gonna use a third cup of sugar here in just a minute. We need 2 crescent rolls, a half a stick of butter, and you want that melted. Later on, we're gonna use another third cup of sugar. So 2/3 all together, a third now, and then a third a little later. All right, sound good? Okay, let's get baking. I've already washed my hands, so I'm good to go there. I did sort of hurt my thumb the other day, so I'm gonna be a little bit ginger with that. But yeah, I think we're set. Churro cake. Okay, I'm gonna tip you down so you can see what's up. Hold on, it's now, you guys, seriously, I'm having so much technology difficulty right now. Like, my phone just yelled at me. I'm gonna try to tip you down again. If it yells at me, I don't know, we'll punt. Okay, hopefully you can see. I don't want to tip it any further because that's when it started to yell. So I've already got cream cheese and a third cup of sugar in here. I'm just going to use, I've grabbed one of these little spoonula things, but I also have just a fork. I'm just going to use the fork and just smash it all up. But I almost forgot vanilla. And you guys know, if you've watched me before, that this is my absolute favorite. It's a Mexican vanilla blend. It is like just the right amount of deliciousness. And I just realized I don't even know what it's blended with. I don't know. Tiny print. That's what it's blended with. Anyway, the recipe that I saw didn't tell me how much vanilla to use, but I love vanilla, so I'm just gonna go for it. That looks like a good amount. I love vanilla, like seriously, I even put this in my coffee in the mornings, in my espresso, so good. So I'm just gonna mash together this brick of cream cheese with this sugar and this vanilla. If you wanted to get really fancy, you could probably find, you know, like a clear vanilla that isn't vanilla colored. If you wanted to kind of maintain whatever. The recipe that I saw, it was a video. Actually, I should probably tell you that, you guys, this was a TikTok recipe. Isn't that funny? But on TikTok, she did use a clear vanilla, and so, but this will have kind of that beige tint to it from the vanilla, which I'm okay with. I don't care. It's vanilla. It's amazing. All right, just smashing it up. You want to get it so it's kind of a spreadable consistency because we're going to spread it over the top of crescent roll dough. Do, do, do. Na, na, na. All right. I gotta spin this around. I like to see the songs. We have one of those that shows you the songs, the show, I think it's called. So this is an Offspring song, which is so fun. Okay. All right, so you can kind of see how this is pretty well blended together. I don't have any vanilla laying out like along the sides. I don't have any sugar hanging out anywhere. It smells good. It smells real good. All right, so if you just jumped on, this is a brick of softened cream cheese, a third cup of sugar, and some vanilla. I literally just poured it in there. I'm gonna go with a healthy teaspoon. Sounds good, right? Okay, so there's that. I'm just gonna tuck this over here for a second. I'm gonna use this Pyrex. I think it's a Pyrex, yeah. It says, good grief. I don't know, 5 quart, 3 quart. It's about a 9 by 13-ish, right? No, maybe smaller, like, I don't know, 6 by 10? I don't know. 3/4 it says. Anyway, so this is what I'm using. This size pan. So the first thing I want to do, you don't have to put butter or grease this in any way, which is really nice. I'm just going to use 1 tube of crescent roll. If I can find out how to open this. All right. This is everyone's favorite part, right? It's like baking fireworks. Here you go, violence. Woo! Okay, so I'm just gonna unroll it and lay it kind of flat like this along the long way. And then this second one, same thing, I'll put it right next to its friend. I will tell you that when you're working with the crescent dough, you don't want to, crescent dough, you don't want to pull it out of the oven too soon. Oh my God, out of the refrigerator too soon, because it'll get really hot and it'll pop and it just makes a huge mess. Gets kind of gross. So this is, I'm gonna just use my thumb and kind of mash it together a little bit. This is crazy. This one is really tall. That's what I get, y'all. I did not use Pillsbury because they were out, so I got like the store brand. That'll be all right, I thought. I don't think it's the same. Anyway, I'm just pulling off some of the ends, and I'm gonna stick them in the middle because the ends were really long. Of course, it's probably just how I put them in there too. Okay. And I just kind of want to pat it together a little bit so that some of these divisions are no longer as visible. If you have a little roller, actually I have a little roller, I don't know where it is at the moment, but you could use a little roller and that would probably go a little faster. The next layer, we're not going to be able to do this because we're going to have all of the fillings and stuff under it. So we'll have to punt there. All right, so pretty good. I got a couple gaps. Hold on. Let me fill my gaps. Okay, so I think that's good, yeah? I think so. We're going to go with it. All right, the next thing I'm gonna do is spread this mixture in over this crust. I'm gonna use this, is called an offset spreader or an offset, oh, that was a bad noise. I just thought that would be easier to kind of get in to the pan a little bit. It's hard to find a good spot to put that. All right, so I'm just gonna drop the filling right over onto the prepared dough here, the dough that we just pressed into the pan. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna really get crazy. I am gonna use this because it's so good at scraping the bowl. I mean, really, look at that. I'll show you again in just a minute. It's amazing. Amazing. Okay, look. I got almost every bit. Every bit. Perfect. All right, so now I'm just gonna scrape off the bits off of here and just kind of start spreading. It smells so good, like just vanilla, cream cheese, sugar. Can't go wrong, right? This seemed like such a super easy and delicious sounding recipe. I had to try it. The lady said she usually makes it for football games, but I figure probably a good recipe for any time, right? I mean, it's churro, you can't go wrong. All right, I'm just trying to get as close to the ends of the pastry as I can. Turn that a little bit. Oh yeah, looking good. I'm just gonna scrape some off of the spatula and scrape some off of this. I just want every last bit in here. No goodness left behind. Yum, yum, yum. Okay, get in the corner there. All right, I think that's good. I kind of tried to do a nice even layer. So I think we're there. It's pretty good, yeah? Little of that. Okay, scrape, scrape, scrape. Good to go. We're gonna now top this with the other crescent roll dough. So let me open this. I can't believe after all this time that there's not an easier way to open these. Although this one just popped open. You know why? Because it has been out of the fridge for a little bit. So it was ready to come out. So again, I'm just gonna unroll the first one. And just lay it right on top. And then grab the second one. Gotta find that end, right? And then I'm gonna just unroll that one. Hopefully y'all are still with me. And I'm just gonna lay this one then right on top of its friend. And again, I'm gonna kind of try to just sort of parts this together a little bit so it doesn't have quite so big gaps. The lady on the video didn't do this, but I mean, figure it can't hurt. And again, I'm gonna pull some of this off of the ends just because the ends seem kind of tall and the middle needs a little help. All right. So that seems good, yeah? I think so. Okay, the next step, I'm gonna just wipe my hands, they're a little bit gummy. The next step is we're gonna take that butter and just pour it over the top. So half a stick of butter, melted. I melted it in the microwave 20 seconds, checked it, 20 more seconds, checked it. Then really it was almost done, so I did like 10 seconds at a time after that because you don't want it to splatter all over the place. So I'm just gonna pour it over the top. And really you wanna kind of try to get that as even as possible. So I'm gonna go really high tech and just move my pan around so it kind of covers every spot that it needs to cover. It's looking good. There's a couple of little spots that need a little help. So I'm just gonna spoon that over, cross it over some of these little spots. All right. Perfect. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is grab some sugar. And again, I'm going to do a 1/3 cup of sugar. And I'm just going to sort of shake it about over the top, really. I thought that I had like a special shaker, but it's being used with powdered sugar right now. So we will just improvise. So I've got this 1/3 cup, and I'm just going to kind of go across. And try to get pretty good coverage. Think about how a churro looks on the top, right? It's cinnamon, it's sugar, and then the inside is like that doughy, pillowy, delicious goodness, right? So that's kind of what this cake ends up doing. Okay, good to go. The last thing we're going to do is top it generously with some cinnamon. So I am just gonna go to town. There's no use only this much or that much. You probably could grate fresh cinnamon on if you had some and wanted to get a little fancy, a little bougie. All right. It smells so good, so good. Okay, I like cinnamon, so I'm getting a little happy with it. Okay. I think that looks good, yeah? So, now, let me just flip it up, take a look. Looks yummy, right? I am going to put it in the 350 oven for about 30 minutes. Then when I take it out, it's gonna be so tempting, but you have to wait. Don't dig in right away. Let it set up about 10 minutes before you cut into it and serve it. It's one of those dishes that you can serve hot or cold. I'm thinking a little ice cream, maybe some whipped cream on top would just take it over the top. You could, are you ready? Make a yummy chocolate dipping sauce. Think about when you get churros, like at the fair, or sometimes at some restaurants, they've got like that amazing sort of spicy chocolate dipping sauce. You could totally make some of that to either pour over the top when it's finished or kind of just have alongside, even that with a little bit of whipped cream. Sounds really good. I may have to try that. So to make that chocolate sauce, guys, I would just take chocolate, probably use a darker chocolate, mix it with a little bit of, I would heat up some cream, pour the cream over the chocolate. I would add maybe a little bit of cayenne, some cinnamon, stir that up, and maybe a little bit of sugar. I'd have to kind of see how it tasted. And maybe I'd put that on the plate and then put this on top. Sounds good. Either way, guys, this is churro cake. It smells amazing. I can't wait to try it. I'm going to go ahead and pop it in the oven. Thanks so much for jumping on. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you next Friday.